So this is an innovation that forever changes human history. And there are three major characteristics of this system, okay? The first is the idea of profits are privatized. Losses are socialized. If you're a rich person in the world, you want to put your money in the Bank of England because there's no way the Bank of England loses money. If England goes fight a war and it loses, England pays for it. But if it wins the war, then you get the money for it. Okay? So this is the first concept you need to understand. All profits are privatized. All losses are socialized, picked up by the nation state, the people. That's the first thing. Second thing is, in this system, the way you generate wealth is through activity. And what does that mean? It means wars, right? So if I give you money, you have to go do something with it. You have to go make more profit. And the way you do that is through fighting wars. And the third thing is it's transnationalism. Okay? Open borders. So it believes that capital should be able to move around from place to place. And needs to build systems in order to move capital from place to place. Okay? And the last thing I want to talk about is, okay, this is great for the bankers, but the people look at this and they think that this is an unfair system, which it is, right? So now you have to brainwash the people into believing this is a fair system. And that's why you create a new idea called materialism. Or money is God. And so what was happening was that transnational capital, Bank of England, was sponsoring major intellectuals to come up with the major ideologies to support the idea that money is God, okay? And these include, John Locke, who argued that private property is a God-given right, okay? It is an inherent right, as much as freedom, as much as happiness, okay? Then you have someone named David Hume, okay? David Hume. And David Hume argued for skepticism. And skepticism just says that everything that you know is actually not valid. Because what you know is just based on your belief, okay? So Rome is the capital of Italy. Have you been to Rome? Probably not, okay? So where did you learn this? You learned this in school by memorizing this fact. So basically, we should be skeptical of everything we know, because most of the stuff we know is either custom or habit, okay? So that's the idea of skepticism. So now the problem is, okay, skepticism and empiricism just means that we don't really know anything, and God doesn't really exist. So how can we design society? And so this creates a new idea called utilitarianism. Which is say that if it is useful, if it gives us pleasure, it must be good. Okay? If you take drugs and you are happy with it, it must be good. If you like spending money, it must be good. Okay? And this is from Bentham. And then John Stuart Mills will make some adjustments to it, okay? But this becomes the very concept of liberty. All right? Liberty just means that you are free to pursue as much money making as possible, because that is the ultimate good. That is what gives you the most pleasure in life, spending money. Okay? That's what liberty is. If a country prevents you from making money and spending money, it's an evil dictatorship. A good country allows you to enjoy the pleasures of making money. Okay? And then what will happen is that these are the three major philosophers of materialism, of British liberty, and then you'll have people like Marx come in. And he'll introduce the idea of dialectic materialism. Dialectic materialism. Which is say, like, the world is is one of class struggle. It's not between God and us. It's not between the divine and the material. It's one between the poor and the rich, and that's it, okay? So Marx is taking out the divine from the equation. Then you have Darwin, theory of evolution, which basically says we're just animals, man. Okay, that's all. We're not divine beings. We're all just animals. Then you have people like Freud. Sex is awesome, guys, okay? That's what we should be doing. We should be making a lot of money and then having as much sex as possible, because that's what we are. We're just apes, okay? So this becomes the very foundation for the idea that money is God, all right? Okay, so what then happens is that transnational capital, which has conquered the British Empire, it's now seeking new opportunities for its investments, okay? So where it goes next is, of course, America.